Hey, what is up, artists? Welcome back to Ronin Films. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. It's going to be how to draw with Ronin Films. Let's get into it. So guys, before we get started, there's just going to be 4 things you're going to need to start off. What you're going to need is a notebook, a drawing one, a pencil, a sharpener, and a rubber. Now with all those done, we're going to do our drawing. Now, the drawing that I'm going to be doing is a seagull. Now, they're very simple birds, so they should be easy to get started off with. So guys, once you've found your drawing, what you're going to want to do is make sure your pencil is sharpened. You can do that with the sharpener. Once that's done, you're all ready to go. Now, first things first, you want to have a look at your drawing, or the image that you're going to be going off of, and see if it's in portrait or landscape format. Now, if it's in a portrait, your piece of paper or sketchbook will be up like so. If it's in landscape, it will be down like this. So, let's get started. Now, the image I'm doing is in portrait, so we're going to have it laying down like this. Now, how the image first starts off, as I have, we have a line starting from around like where his head starts off, and we're going to just bring it down, and it has a slight curve down to where his beak starts. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to stop right there. Then we're going to turn the page to landscape. Now the reason why we do this is because it then becomes very easy to draw on, because if you're having to move your hand around to get in the right position, it's just not going to work as good. So I find that turning the piece of paper down to landscape, it just makes my life a lot easier, and we all love an easier life. So we're going to curve it around there. Now, you're going to want to make sure you do it very light, because if you do it too hard, then when you need to rub out something, it's just going to be a pain, because you'll end up with darker lines, and just don't. So we will bring it out to the back, and we'll do like this little bit of a nod for the back of his head right here. And again, I keep on turning my papers, so take note. If you have to do that, it's quite fine. Quite alright. So as we come down here, you'll notice that in my drawing, he's got a bit of tufts of fur. Now, or feathers, because he's a bird. All animals that you're drawing will have bits of fur, or even humans. Like, if I'm drawing myself, I would have my hair coming off. And if you see in another video, should be up here in the top left or right hand corner, one of which linked to it, I drew myself in cartoon, and you'll have a look. I've put tufts, like my hair out in tufts, and that's what you need to do. So we'll bring it down here, and we'll give it a tuft out. Now, seeing of course that this is cartoon, you don't have to be too detailed about it. I'm going to turn it back to normal. Now, right now I've realised something. I've made my head a bit too blocky, so we're going to use the rubber, and we're going to rub it out. And we'll just fix that up with a bit more of a nice slight curve down like so. Okay. Now, let's add in the beak. So, if we notice, the beak's going to start right around here, this plus point right there. And I'm going to bring it out. Like that. And why don't we make this seagull smiling, because a happy drawing. So, to make it look like it's smiling, keep the thing going, keep your bottom of your beak going straight. And as you near the end, kind of curve it up. And like so. That kind of gives the impression that whatever you're drawing is smiling. Now, on my drawing here, I forgot to add this in, but it had some tufts of fur on the top of his head, which, why don't we add it in right now? So guys, once that is done, you notice I've already got like a decent bird looking head already appearing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start right around here. Now, I'm starting around, half a centimeter, 5 millimeters underneath from where the beak end, starts. That's just so we can maybe add in a bottom beak later or add in our own details, maybe some tufts of fur. Anything really, that just gives us 5 millimeters that we don't have to rub out. Then I'm going to turn my page to landscape again and just do a little bit of a curve. And we're going to run this up like so. Always remember to keep your strokes light and have them come from the top, slowly coming down, then they touch the paper very lightly and then they come back off, kind of like an airplane. Now that we've done that, looking at it from the portrait section, it looks too much like his tail feathers and bottom half is leaning upwards, so we'll fix that with the good old rubber. Now notice when you do it very light, when you rub out something, you don't get any traces that there was really anything there. Now, so far I've done 3 tail feathers. Now, they look pretty decent, but if I'm going to keep up with this, it's going to be a very long tail that I have. I just drew a line going down there just to show where my bird's back is going to be, and I've got a very long tail, so I'm going to have to rub that out. Okay, I've rubbed that bit out. Let's start again. Always remember to refer back to your image as least as possible because you want to try to get that image to burn into your mind and you don't want to copy it as much. Yes, of course, try to get the details that you want, like the shape and that, but if you're doing that 24/7 when you're doing drawing, your drawing then just becomes to look like a copy and not your own original piece. So guys, I've done those tail feathers. I think that as I get more on in adding the details and that, I can fix them up. But as we're just laying down the rough sketch at the moment, that is all I really need to do. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the back of the tufts of the bird on the bird's neck. We're going to do one straight line down. Now, try to do it just past, because this is a cartoon style, we're going to make it just a bit funky. Turn your page to landscape again. And we'll do a little cross down like that. So we end up with a bit of an X, like so. Neaten up your segments where they join in. And try to neaten up your tail feathers as well, as that can create a much more nicer look. Also, don't make them too wavy, as this cartoon doesn't really have much feathers coming out, and when they are, they're quite jagged. Fantastic. So now that we have our decent seagull's body done, now what we're going to do is we're going to add the legs. So what we're going to do is we're going to add probably some legs going right here, and another pair, well, not another pair, another leg going right here. Now how we're going to start off is we're going to do like a triangle going down. Like so. Then we're going to continue our line that we made up here. We'll go down to around there. That looks nice. So that bit there looks fine. Now we'll move on to our next one. With this leg here, we're going to stop it halfway, because let's do something a bit different, and we're going to give it a little bend. Okay, just neaten up this leg. Okay, so our bird's legs are looking pretty nice at the moment. But where is our bird going to stand? Because right now it looks pretty much like it's just standing somewhere. So let's add a small circle underneath and add some tufts coming out, because it's going to be kind of like standing on a pole. Now, you've drawn an oval for like the circle bit or pole that your seagull's going to stand on. Try to make the circle look more like an oval, very squished one, but try to make it still even. Add some lines going down just to give it that bit more of an effect. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add a bit of tufts just hanging out from the side. There we go. So that looks okay. Now we're not going to add too much detail on any of the drawing at the moment. So now that that's done, let's add this bird's toes. Now it will have a toe sticking out the back. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now we'll add the toes to the bent leg. Go. Like so. Now, that looks pretty much okay. Now, if you wanted to finish it up here, you could just add an eye right here. But we're going to add that in a second. Now that that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to add a bit more detail down here on the bottom of the log. So we'll add a few tufts just sticking up in the, on the top of the, oh, what's it called? On the top of the log. Fantastic. Okay, so that looks pretty much okay. Now let's add in the eye. So let's move this down to more so where the head of the bird is in our drawing area, because you don't want to stretch to do some drawing far away. So let's do an oval. Like that. Now, let's add a happy eyebrow. And let's just thicken it up just a tiny bit. Perfect. Now, we'll add the pupil. Okay, that just doesn't look right. Yeah, I'm over about that. We're just not going to talk about that. Okay, so now that this bit all is done, yes, the eye looks a bit weird, but that's because we haven't done any shading or any colouring in. I'm going to let that for you to do. But let's move down to the beak. So as I said, we left 5mm gone with no pencil. So we could add like a bottom bit, and that's what we're going to do right now. And there we go. Now just join up the bottom of the beak up to the little bit where he smiles, just to show he's happy. Now let's add on the detail where his wings are going to go. We're going to start right here, and we're going to go all the way up to where the tufts end. Just do a little mark there and there. Then we're just going to one long sweeping move down like that. Do it very lightly. Turn your page upside down. Do it from there, from the other line, and we'll do it all the way up to join it up. Fantastic. Now once that is done, let's add on some more tiny details. So guys, with that, you could call your drawing finished right now. And as I have not done any colouring in on this, that is fine. I don't plan on colouring it in. I'll probably just give it to one of my younger siblings and they can colour it in, as that's what I'm probably gonna do. Very simple drawing. People can tell it's a bird, and they can also probably tell it's a seagull. If not, it's just very cartooned up, so it doesn't really matter. I'll be back next week with a drawing of a puppy, so see you then. The finished product will be at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Whoa! Did you know that Ronin Films started up his own Discord server? Well, now you do. Hit the link in the description to join and to learn more. Ronin Films Discord server is one for where my fans and subscribers can hang out. We'll have giveaways, custom roles, even commissions. If you want me to draw anything for YouTube, DM me or put it into the hashtag suggestion area. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe.